So this is the 9th and final match of Triton Trolls Killers in the REBBRL College League. We're playing this time Maiden Warriors Dark Elves. I've not done so great against Dark Elves previously. What can I tell you that's happened so far? He has won the kick and elected to receive. And there are no inducements, and he has got the fame, annoyingly giving him +1 on some kickoff results. I have set up in my elf busting formation so he can't get hits on me, and let's see what happens. So I am not going to be surprised if he starts sprinting players forward in order to score fast. That is a thing that elves do. And if they do, I'll be delighted, because if they score in 2 turns, I've got 7 to score back. Various dubious dodges. And then a punch on my dirty player. It's almost like he's scared of the dirty player. Picks up the ball, runs it away a bit to be out of range of getting punched by any of my orcs, even with shenanigans. Not that orcs do much shenanigans, i.e. dodging through screens and things. So I move the troll forward, happy days, but I go a little bit mental in this turn, and rather than forming a nice central line, I go sprinting off into the backfield with a bunch of slow moving players, i.e. black orcs, and puts the ball under pressure, which probably would have worked better had I put the fast moving players back there. But you know, you live and learn. And I ran the black orcs away from the trolls, then had to cover him with this guy. And things not looking too great. Anyway, I'm going for the hit over here with the mighty blow dude. So with the pom. Pom is if I knock him down and don't break his armour, I can then jump on top of him and poke him in the face and try and break armour again. Does not work. He gets 2 dice against my guard dude. So I was surprised at these hits. I thought he'd be going for the quick score, but I was wrong. And now I'm quite badly out of position in that he's got my team cut off from each other, which is about the worst possible mistake you can make with orcs. So this black orc's isolated, that one's isolated, these guys are all cut off from these guys, and life ain't great, if I'm honest. Now he does do something in a minute which I think is a bit of a mistake. He's left this guy hittable. The guy with the ball. So, you know, that's clearly a mistake on his part. But it's hard to capitalise on it when my tackle dude, the guy that can defeat his dodge dude, is pinned over here. So that's a bit annoying. I don't really want to dodge away with him because that's a 3+. So I lob my troll against all these guys. It's like a terrible plan. Again, take a black orc forward, which may be a mistake. There were faster players that could have done that job. Get a guy back behind to kind of shore up a bit. I'm not quite sure about that, sending the guard in there. He's got a lot of wrestle, so that puts my tackle guy on the floor, which is really frustrating. I managed to get this guy out of the way, which means my black orc can come around to assist the blitz from my pommer. And all I need is a lovely pow. I get a pow, and then I make a minor mistake in that I pushed the ball off the right here, where all these players are. If I pushed it forwards, where all my players are, it might have worked out a bit better for me. So, yeah, a bit stupid there. So now he's got a whole bunch of elves relatively close to the ball and is in good shape, which is kind of frustrating. And my orcs are quite out of position, way up the field. And then of course, he gets an armor break. I haven't got any armor breaks, but he gets an armor break, knocking out one of my players, letting him get all his men. So now he's got this nice collection of people all down here, and I've got all my people up the far end of the pitch, which is not the way to play orcs. And worse than that, he's got the ball, and he can make it completely safely screened off very easily if I bring this guy around here. So I literally can't get a guy into the ball because he's got this whole screen going on here. So frustration, because now I'm in the wrong place and he's in the right place, and it's going to be very hard for me to do an awful lot here. So I'm trying to engineer a block with a tackle dude, and of course I roll double skulls, and then just a push. At least that frees up my tackle guy, who can hopefully get into the action. Punch this guy out of the way, which of course is a GFI, which fails, and I've already used my reroll my double skull, so not much luck that particular turn. Of course I have these blocks still to do, and yeah, frustrating. So he's cut off my tackle guy here. He's now stuck on 2 players, and he can just run the ball forward, and I've still not got anybody within hitting range of this guy. I just literally can't get a hit in on him unless I dodge away here, which isn't going to work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now there's no way in. So that's pretty rubbish. So again, he screamed the ball, and I can't get to the ball, and he's just laughing at me. And it's all my own stupid fault. I should never have sent all these slow players rushing up the field. And arguably I shouldn't have sent anybody rushing up the field. I should just have targeted these guys in the backfield, let him do what he wants in his backfield. But, you know, lessons learned. The risk I've got here is that if I do get some pressure in here, he'll just run across to the right. So I want to get at least a few people over this way to try and stop that. So you can't just stall and stall and stall, because ideally I want him to score this turn, next turn, if I can make him score. It gives me a few turns to score back, and lets me make up for my terrible, terrible mistakes. Might have been a time to GFI there, with that orc. Oh no, I can't make GFIs. Okay, so that's 2 rerolls gone. Makes it very hard to score for me with only 1 reroll now, if I do ever get the ball. And at least I get a removal. But he can now just run this guy across to the right fairly easily. He gets another removal, which is really bad for me. And can very easily get this guy across to the right. And then have him pretty much fully caged up. It's most of the way there. So I'm going to do a dodge blitz with a troll. So again, the troll is isolated away from the ball, all my players in the wrong end of the pitch, and he's done a very good job of screening me off. So unless I'm willing to do a crazy troll blitz, I'm in a little bit of trouble here. And again, he can just go and cage up in this other corner, because he's just got slightly more movement than me. So the best I can do is just put him under as much pressure as possible, get all my guys relevant. and see if I can maybe make him score next turn, give me 3 turns to score. So I quite like this manoeuvre. By getting him out of the way over there, gives me a pile on here. Which does absolutely nothing. And this guy can come in to be stood next to the troll, making the troll less chance of being stupid. Get the tackling on this dodge guy. And the troll comes around. Didn't really want to GFI with the troll because I had no reroll, but I didn't want to use a reroll because I need one for the score. But at least gets the troll close enough that, you know, he wanted to punch the troll, but he realised he couldn't because he was too strong, so he scored. So I've now got 3 turns to score back, which is not impossible, but it's not easy against elves when you're orcs. And also I don't want to give him the option to score back, so luckily I get one of the knockouts back. Unluckily he gets his witch elf back, which is huge because the witch elf having frenzy can, that means they punch, and if they don't knock him down, they get a second follow-up hit, which means surfing, I knock him off the side of the pitch, is a bit easy. So it means I can't sit out wide like this without really being at risk of being surfed. And I kind of need to sit out wide to stop him from getting around the back of me, so because then with that witch not coming back. And also he's got kick, and I'm well aware of that, so he's going to send it probably very, very long. So I've got to put a couple of guys in the backfield. And because he can choose which side he kicks it to, I kind of decide to split up my team with equal numbers on both sides, which makes it way harder for me to score in 3 turns. And then he gets the extra reroll that I need. So luckily the ball's not massively deep. Get a hit. Is he going to hurt him? Just a stun. It's been knocking me out for fun, and I only stun him. Is the troll going to play? Nope, not today. Bit of a mistake here, should have GFI'd away, because it's a very easy surf for him here. It will use his blitz, but given the ball's all the way over here, it's harder for me to get it over here. And again, I'm staying deep because it just seems too easy for him to get around the side and bother me. And maybe I make another mistake here by, if I just pause the action. So this guy's movement 6, this guy's a movement 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, GFI, GFI. I don't want to get based by these guys getting around, which with the blitz, they could. That guy's movement 7. So in order to avoid that, I then bring this guy back, which isn't ideal when I'm trying to get guys upfield to score. So yeah, he goes for the surf. It's just too easy, isn't it? He does send a guy downfield, but that's a scoring threat. Let's just pause there. He's movement 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, GFI, GFI. So if I should fail and lose the ball and he gets to this guy, he's going to score and go 2-0 up. And that's pretty critical in what happens next. So he's shut down that avenue and he's surfing this guy. So that's both my scoring threats currently completely shut down. But then he makes a minor mistake. He fails a dodge. No, that's not the minor mistake. Well, actually it is, yeah. Because now he's only got this one guy, and if I can get past this guy, I'm golden. But I've got a slight problem. In that really to do that, I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hand off to this guy, and this guy wants to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably have to do the blitz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, punch him in the face. And this guy can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can cage up here, which would be fantastic if I can do that. But in order to do that move, I could even blitz him with this guy. In order to do that move, I have to do a handoff to this guy over here. And should that handoff fail, and it's a 3+, then this guy is just poised with some support to just take the ball and go and score. I mean, someone picks it up, hands it off to him, and he goes and scores. So I ummed and ahed about it and thought, can I risk this? And I thought, you know, I really can't. And perhaps that was a mistake, because with the reroll it was fairly good to work, but instead I do this. I just move it forward to there. And that now relies on me getting enough scoring threats forward ahead of him to be able to receive the ball next turn. So that's one GFI done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's just within scoring range, this guy. That guy's just within scoring range. And everybody else just making this ball as safe as possible. And that was all because he put this guy down there, so it was a good move by him. If there hadn't been a guy in scoring range, I could have risked the handoff and then would have had the ball in this square, fully caged up, which would have meant he couldn't have got in to get to him very easily. And I'd have had guys in front of the ball as opposed to behind the ball. Sorry, in close to the goal line up here, in amongst his guys and not back here. So it's a bit annoying. So sure enough, he's going to blitz one of the scoring threats down, which he does. And he's based the other one, and he can now use these players to screen off. So making it really, 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 really hard to score. Not impossible, but really, really hard. Just no way left, nowhere right. Straight down the middle is pretty much it. Would have been nice if he rolled a double 1 there, but he doesn't. So the little problem I've got is that the only guy who can score is this guy. And it ain't easy, because he's got to, even if this guy's not in this square, he's got to dodge into this square. So he's going to step into this square, dodge into here, 2 tackle zones, or dodge into here, 1 tackle zone, which is probably better. So if he's gone, it's going to be a 4+, 4+, 3+, 2+, 2+ to score. So that's quite tricky. Now, there's various ways I could have achieved this. Because I've got this dirty player here, he could have stepped in to the left, cancelling him. I could have, yeah, and my next other good blitz is way back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just can't get him in. So the guy that has to punch this guy is the ball carrier. And the guy that has to assist him, because there's only 1 square to get in here, which is touched by somebody else. Actually, it's not. So I could have assist with anybody. But I decided to try the troll. So a bit of a mistake here, because the troll, for some bizarre reason, goes 1 square too far forward. I just click on the wrong square. So that's the end of my scoring chance. Which was very frustrating for me, because that was just a mistake. I clicked in the wrong square. He should have been in the square just behind there. And yeah. So annoying. I'm 1-0 down, which means it's going to be basically impossible for me to win. If you're going 1-0 down as Orcs, you really haven't got the speed to be able to score twice. And so the best I can get is a draw. And you know, there's also a risk that it might not be a draw. It could be worse than that. Because again, he's still got kick. And I still can't go too close to the sideline because he's still got frenzy. I don't want to give him free serfs on players. So that's my setup, and it all kind of goes wrong from this point onwards. I get a quick snap, which is going to move every player on my team 1 square. And what I kind of fail to appreciate is that the ball's way back here. So this turn, I can go and collect it and bring it to here, and none of his players can get to me. But given they can all run around the sides, they can all get to me the turn after. And I only move 5, so assume I get to here, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to be able to cage up here. Or I've got to lob the ball or something. And so I need players who can get back to allow me to cage up. And instead, I step my entire team forward. Meaning that I don't have the players to make the cage. Because I also step them into base contact, which is not great. Literally every single player here is now in base contact. And then all the hits that are supposed to knock all these players down and free men well, I pile on, give him even less movement because he's lying on the ground. I get wrestled, so he's lying on the ground, so even less movement. So I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players still to action. I figured making a blitz is too risky. I get the ball. 1. And then I send my only fast moving players that I need to come back to cover going forward for a hit. Which does nothing particularly useful. And I don't even bring him back further, so again I just leave it wide open to get around the side. You know, I could have put this guy up here. No, it's just so yeah. So I've given him a golden opportunity to get right around the back of me, isolate my ball carrier from everybody else on my team. And it's not even hard for him to do. Knocks out my one of my faster players, my guard Blackhawk, sorry, guard Blitzer. I feel I have to appo it because I need players on the pitch. And then just he closes the noose around my neck now. All it takes is a few players with a few GFIs, and he can completely shut me down. So now I'm in a real problem because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can get to the skull. I literally can't get a cage back that far because everybody's so far forward. The best I can do is hope to cage up somewhere just behind my troll with a guy in the middle to receive the ball and hope he catches it. And that's tricky because it's a pass roll, but that's pretty much what I've got to try and do. But in terms of guys to make the cage, I've got not very many people because everybody's tied up or out of place. So this guy ends up in the wrong place because he should have gone 1, 2, 3, 4. He's gone 1 square too far back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. GFI, GFI. Toss it 2 squares is great, but I can't fill in this square because this guy can't get there without a GFI. So I changed my mind and decided to go and tag him instead, which is criminally stupid because it means he's now punchable, and this is in no way screening off the ball. So I've based my own cage here, and the GFI would have been the better option. Then I mess up my hits. Really, I should have used the troll to hit the guy in front of me. In fact, it makes no difference. I'm just trying to free players and I had to knock him down. If I'd knocked him down, I would have freed the Black Orc up. The Black Orc could have come down, and the Black Orc had come down to here, and this guy had stepped across. Is there a guy behind the troll? Yeah, there's a guy behind the troll who I still need to punch down. But, you know, it was a chance. But no, it didn't go down, so I decided to do this one dice. Gets me a knockout, but it's a little bit mad. Black Orc can come into there. He does the dodge. It's just absolute madness. Blitz him away to allow me to form the front corner of the cage. But the thing is, it's not really a cage. Because of where he is, he should have been back one, he could have been across one. Because he was here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could have properly caged up, unbased here. And then all I've got to do is lob and catch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, GFI, GFI, lob it. 2 GFIs and a 3+ lob and a 3+ catch. But yeah, I kind of messed up the positioning of this guy and this guy, these 2 Black Orcs. I don't do the GFIs, I guess because I haven't got the reroll. Maybe I've used it already. And he doesn't make the catch. So now up absolute shit creek with that paddle. If I got the ball into him and built the cage properly, he'd have been a little bit out of position and my life would have been okay. Because I've got a lot of players ahead of the ball. But as it is, he can blitz one Black Orc, block the other Black Orc, because I left him touching. Blitz this one out of the way. So the only guy left touching the ball is my blitzer. And then the pickup's relatively easy for an elf with agility 4. And the dodge away is relatively easy. And yeah, I'm in a lot of trouble because he's built this screen that I can't get through again. So all my players, the wrong side of the screen of his players apart from one. Again. And it just happens like lightning. Just aggressive elf play. And now I'm just scrabbling if there's anything I can do. I didn't even stand that guy out last turn, which was criminal. So I'm trying to get guys back behind the ball, but it's really hard. Probably make a mistake putting that player there. Because what I'm trying to do is get my tackle guy into the action so he can be touching this guy, but if I place my guy there, if I GFI'd him one around the back, and now I couldn't really do it. So all the best I can do is this, to try and get him out of the way. As usual, wrestle fails, so now to get the guy against the tackle, I need to do a dodge, which I get away with. And a couple of GFIs to try and get him somewhere useful. But this is terrible because with very little trouble, he can get his players away, build a lovely screen. And just, again, it's deja vu from the first half. Nice that he failed that, but he's got a reroll. And I'm just completely miles away from the ball and in a world of hurt. which is, say the least, frustrating. Because he's already 1-0 up, he can score at any time, and that's the game done, really. So I've got nobody that can come and hit him, so I just need to sort of generate a chance to come and hit him, and hope that he tries to stall it out and I get lucky. Stupid, doesn't help. Again, just trying to get hit there. Might have been a mistake. Again, wrestle, really frustrating. That one's a 1 dice, I don't even realise it, and I roll double skull. So I haven't moved this guy around who's going to GFI at the end. Didn't even get to do this hit that I moved the Black Hawk out of position to do. Didn't get to move this guy down. Just dumb sequencing. And he's KO'd my tackler, who's pretty much the only certainty. I've got to take this guy down with certainty, but much better odds to get this guy down. So my game is in tatters. I mean, it's pretty much a certain loss unless he starts rolling the worst run of dice ever. And he's so comfortable that he decides to lob it to the Witch Elf, who he wants to get some star player points on. Only a handoff though, not a classy pass and catch. Still trying to get some kind of action somewhere near the ball and failing miserably. Again, it's like, oh, every time it's bloody wrestle. And again, can't roll GFIs for Toffee. Oh, look, it's a push. How bloody useful. And that's it, game over. I've been left with 3 turns to score, couldn't do it in the first half. Not even fouled all game, it's just shocking. I've been men down since the start, pretty much. So I overload the line of scrimmage, and really I know I've got a little chance to score. What I want to do though is level up my Black Hawk. He's on 5-star player points. If I can manage to lob an unlikely pass with him with no rerolls, then he will level up. So that's what I'm playing for here, and to try and get some casualties. Wrestle every bloody time. Push. Push. It's just criminal. It really is. It hurts so much. At least the troll doesn't stupid. And he gets a knockout, but a knockout's worthless to me. The game's lost. Having a few less players on the pitch now for him is irrelevant. So here we go. Can he pick up the ball? He can! Can he successfully pass it? He can, but the stupid lino can't catch for Toffee. So there's a serious risk he's going to come through and take the ball and score 3-0 here, but quite frankly I couldn't give a monkeys at this point. If he scores 3, why do I care? Again, he's trying to isolate these guys at the back from the entire team. This time, this GFI doesn't work. But he's got the reroll. And the dodge fails. And finally an injury. I get nothing for that. So now it's like, okay, Black Orc, one attempt failed. Let's see if I can manage to get it into the hands of one of the two Linos on 5-star player points so that they can maybe score. Whilst also getting a nice punch in. So ideally I should be picking up and handing it off to this guy. A good 9 fingers. Again, bloody wrestle. Managed with the pickup. Haven't quite got the movement to get next to him to do the handoff. Don't do a GFI. But I can hand off and pass in the final turn. It's up to there. Just trying. He didn't want him to stand him up because he'd have got served, probably. I didn't really want because it's an instant injury. Now at this point, I thought I was the one with 2 turns left and he was the one with 1 turn. And at some point I realised that's not the case. And life isn't great. What I don't want to do is fail and give him a chance to score unless if I can help it, really. Just because it's embarrassing to lose 3-0. Gets his 1 dice on the ball, just a push. Doesn't push him right next to the guy I want to hand off to, unfortunately. And so given the positioning down here, I thought I'm better off trying to hand off to this guy upfield because I've got more men there and it's easier to probably protect the pass a bit. Piling on, getting the stun, getting the knockout. Again, no star player points, so completely irrelevant at this end of the game. Had that been, you know, early in the first half, would have been glorious, but no, it wasn't to be. So I'm trying to get a few star player points. And I'm just trying to lock down his players a bit so I can... Double GFI. Hand off. Troll gets them both down. Not even the glorious pass for the star player points, but again it was risky. Who was going to pass it to? The guy next to him. Oh, he's got 2 dice on the ball. Skulls into a push. He's got a second bite of the cherry here. With a 1 dice if he hits this guy. It's even a red dice. Again, a push. You know, I've done more joy trying to score with him hitting me than anything else. So I'm massively supporting 2-0 loss. MVP goes on the troll, which is you know, not great for right now and might be useful in the future. Terrible, terrible, terrible game. 39 blocks and 5 KOs. It looks good, but they were right at the end of the game. He did 29 blocks, 3 KOs, and they were right at the start of both halves, so much more useful. The dice, 21, 28, and 33. So my dice were pretty shocking in terms of punches, which did not help. I don't think it was a difference between winning and losing, but it didn't help. His were 39, 20... He's got a lot more. Oh, it's both teams. Main Warriors, 18, 18, 21. So pretty good, pretty average. But mine were bad. Okay, let's look at the D6s. The armour breaks. His armour is, I think, 8 across the board, maybe the odd 7. And he broke my armour 72%. No, sorry, that's me. That's me breaking his armour 72%. He broke my armour 73%. And I've got higher armour class. So he was lucky on his casualties. I was unlucky on my punches. That certainly had an effect on the game. And me not playing well didn't help. So I could have probably got away with not playing well had my dice been better and his dice not been as good. But it is what it is. And it's unfortunate, but it happens. Let's just finish up by looking at the leaderboard. This is before the games are played this week. Now I'm currently second. I'm a point ahead of the Lizardmen and 3 points ahead of the Norse. My touchdown difference got pretty bad because I just lost 2 and got nothing. So it went down to +3. The Wood Elves play the Lizardmen. If the Wood Elves win, the Lizardmen stay below me. If the Wood Elves draw, the Lizardmen have the same number of points as me and probably have a better touchdown difference. And if the Wood Elves win, they go above me. So I've got a chance, sorry, if the Lizardmen win, they go above me. So I've got a chance of coming in second still. But the Norse, if they can get a win, then they will equal me in points, because I didn't get the draw I needed to avoid that. And I think their touchdown difference might be better as well, especially if they get a win. So I might finish, if the results go a certain way, I could finish 4th, which would just be awful. I don't expect the Lizardmen to beat the Wood Elves. I do think they're well capable of getting a draw. We will see. I'll know all the results by the end of Tuesday night. But yeah, disappointing end to what was not a terrible season, apart from those 2 losses mid-season when just lost the plot. Today was a little bit like that. Looking forward, there's a couple of pick-up games, and then the minors start, which is a higher division. And I will probably take part in that and see how I do. Alright, thanks for watching. Cheers.